What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel and another episode of the Never Seen It series. But this one is a little bit different because we are in the month of October and I've been committed. I am committing to watch a horror movie or two every single night in the month of October. So this Never Seen It series edition is all horror movies. So if this is your favorite genre, this is definitely the video for you. If you are new here on my channel and you enjoy physical media content just like this, then hit the red subscribe down below, the like button, but most importantly, that notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Now, if you are new here, I always in this video series tell you what I like the most, what I like the least, and then everything else falls in between. So let's get started with the two that I enjoyed the most. There's two this time, and that would be Halloween 4 and Candyman. So we'll put Candyman aside for right now. We'll get to her in just a minute. So we have Halloween 4. Now I got to admit, I was very hesitant about how much I would like this film because once you get in the higher numbers of a franchise, 4, 5, 6, 7, they tend to be not that great. However, with Halloween 4, I think because Halloween 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers, it gave that break in between 2 and 4. You missed him. You missed Michael Myers. You wanted him back on screen. I know I did. I wanted to see him again. So then he shows up back in Halloween 4, and it's a brand new concept. There's no Jamie Lee Curtis. We have her daughter instead, who I enjoyed. I liked the concept. I enjoyed the babysitter, Rachel. She did not annoy me. I liked her and Jamie, the little girl, as a pairing together. This movie just worked for me. For some reason, I don't know why. I just highly, highly enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It was fun, I guess you could say. If you could say Halloween movies are fun, I just had a good time watching this one. If I were to do a Halloween ranking video, Halloween 4 would rank high on the list. Obviously, the first is the first one. 2 is the second. This is possibly in third place. So this is a really well done Halloween movie for Halloween movie standards. Highly enjoyed it. I do recommend, and obviously having it on the 4K enhanced the entire experience. So my other one that I loved, really loved, I enjoyed this one a lot more than I thought. Obviously, I already showed you, is Candyman. Now, I've never seen this before, obviously, but the reason why I've never seen it before is because you know how you just have a certain stigma about movies, like you hear things and you're like, no, like I'm not going to go there. I remember hearing things when I was younger about Candyman and it's super scary and you don't want to watch it. So I think that's the reason why I never watched it before. I had a great time with this movie. My Mama Blu-ray and I, we've been watching all these movies together and we loved this movie. Like the chemistry between Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd and him as Candyman is amazing. Like we loved it. I can't even say we loved it enough. Like it's a great original concept. And there's just something freaky about saying a name in a mirror and then them just busting up behind you. That's so scary and freaky. And I thought it was a great concept. Her being framed for everything that he was doing. Great movie. Fantastic. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend that you do. I'm not sure how the most recent Candyman holds up to that one. I've heard different things, but now that I've seen that Candyman, I might pick up the new one when it comes out on physical media because I enjoyed that one that much. Okay, next up with the Halloween 4Ks, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. What the hell's going on here? Okay, so there's no Michael Myers at all whatsoever. They went in a different direction with the Silver Shamrock Corporation with these masks and they're killing children. I get this is weird. Like this movie is so weird. Your main guy character, now I forget his name, but he's here. He's right here, okay? This dude is like a player, okay? He's like grabbing nurses' asses in the hospital. He's a doctor. I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like, that's sexual harassment right there. I'm pointing out like these little things. But I guess back then, who cares? It just did not matter. As long as she was making cookies and bringing milk, that's all that really mattered to this guy on the back right here. So he's grabbing ass. He's sleeping with a random woman who's trying to find her father. That angle was really weird and out of nowhere. It has nothing to do with the Halloween franchise whatsoever. It's its own separate story. I know a lot of people love this movie. I just don't see the love part. I think it's interesting. I'm going to watch it again. Probably not during the year, but for the month of October, for Halloween time, you bet your ass I will watch this again. But it's just so weird. It's so weird. It's out there. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's right in the middle. Then we have Halloween 5. Okay, Halloween 5. Loomis is mean. Loomis is mean to Jamie, and I think I saw somewhere that Donald Pleasance was not happy with the direction of the character, of how they wanted him to portray that. He did not want to be mean to her. He was mean to her in this movie. And then on top of that, Jamie, the daughter, she just has this psychic connection to Michael, and she's in a mental hospital institution, whatever you want to call it. Like, I didn't really like that concept. I wish she was just free in the streets. She has a psychic connection to her uncle. Okay, that I can get behind. But let's talk about the most annoying thing about this movie, and that is Tina. The character of Tina in this goddamn Forsaken movie, I wanted her to get the axe, like, in the first 5 minutes of her being on the screen. She was so annoying. All of her friends were annoying. I was like, Michael, just kill her. Just offer, please. I was praying that he would do it. And then when he finally did, I cheered. I was so happy. Halloween 5 is definitely not the best of the franchise, but it's not the worst. It's okay. It kind of falls where Halloween 3 does for me. I mean, that Tina, man, she had to go. All right. So, let's talk about it. The Shining. Okay, I know. I already know. I'm going to get some words for this. But, okay, so I attempted to watch this, I think about a year ago. Maybe, possibly. Within the past year, I tried watching this. I fell asleep midway. So, for this October, I said, you know what, Susan? You're watching The Shining. You got Dr. Sleep right here. You're going to do a nice double feature night. So I did. There's a reason why I fell asleep during The Shining, because it's fucking boring. That's why. The Shining is boring. Now, I know there's a lot of you out there that love this movie. You think it's the best thing on the planet. You love Jack Nicholson. I love Jack Nicholson. He was the best part about this movie. Trust me, I love Jack Nicholson. But I think even Stephen King was not happy with the adaptation of his book to this movie. I can see why. If that's true, I can see why. Stanley Kubrick, I don't think I'm a fan of his directing style, and I'm kind of scared because I just bought A Clockwork Orange, and I'm probably not going to like that either. But this was just, it was long, it was boring. I wanted more scenes of Jack Nicholson being psycho in the hotel. Why don't we have more of that? We only got it in the last, 20 minutes of the movie? You have Shelley Duvall running around useless, completely useless, with a baseball bat. Was not believable that she could even use the damn thing. And then she's got a knife, and she, pardon me, but she's like, oh, like this. No, Shelley Duvall, no, that's not how you hold a knife when your husband is trying to get you with a hatchet. You put it in your hand like this. Oh my God. I could go on. I'm not sure if I'm going to do an I hate this movie about this, because I got a lot of crap for Teen Wolf. So I don't even know if I want to do The Shining, but that was a lot right there. I was not the biggest fan of that movie, but it's still not the one that I hated, if that can tell you anything. So let's get to Dr. Sleep. I enjoyed this one. Shockingly enough, I enjoyed this one way more than The Shining. I felt like this one even explained some things that should have been explained in The Shining, but it didn't. It was explained in this movie. Now, granted, this film was a little bit longer than I would have liked. Right around the 2-hour mark would have been perfect, but it went way over. But I did enjoy Ewan McGregor. What am I thinking? And his interpretation, there we go, of the character of Danny, and having the power of The Shining and using it, and having another girl with the same power. That's a great concept, great story by Stephen King. I enjoyed this movie a lot. And then in the last, about half hour, we're back at the hotel. That was awesome. I really enjoyed the entire concept. So out of the two, go with Dr. Sleep. Okay, go with Dr. Sleep. You don't really need to see The Shining, do you? Do you? I wouldn't. You probably do, but I wouldn't. All right, let's get to Black Christmas. That's right. There's nothing like a good horror movie during the holidays in a sorority house. It's one of these kinds of movies. I gotta be honest, I was in and out of consciousness while I was watching this with my mom. However, I did enjoy this. I love a good slasher, a whodunit. You don't know who it is until the very, very end when it is revealed who the killer is. It's just great. There's no ghost. There's nothing in question. It's like, oh, that's the killer, and it is what it is. So it was entertaining. I do have to watch it again because, like I said, I was in and out of consciousness just a little bit, but this was a little bit of cheesy Velveeta, but there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy Velveeta from time to time, as long as it's in a good concept. There's good concepts and there's bad concepts. Just wait. I have the bad concept right at the very end. So next up is another Stephen King adaptation, and that is Carrie. It's been a really, really, really long time since I've seen Carrie, and I don't even think I watched it from beginning to end all the way through nonstop. I saw little bits here, little bits there. So because of that, it goes into the never seen it pile. So Carrie, it was all right. It was okay. It's a little bit boring, like I said, a little drawn out, and Sissy Spacek was good, though. I do have to admit, there was nothing wrong with her as the lead character of Carrie, but it's just, I don't know. I wanted more zhuzh to it, and I understand the time frame of when this was made. They didn't really do a lot of zhuzhing back then, if you know what zhuzhing is. It's like, give it a little spice, a little, a little something extra. I'm wondering if the remake reboot with Chloe Grace Moretz, I believe, is that better than this? Is that the zhuzh that I need to watch? So let me know down below in the comments if that is true, but I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was right there in between. I prefer slasher movies. That's the thing. Slasher movies all day long. I'm a happy gal. Okay, let's get to this weird. If I had the wackiest one of the bunch, it would be Deadly Friend by Wes Craven. No doubt in my mind. Now, I have to rewatch this because the curse of sleep fell upon me yet again. I was about halfway through, probably a little more than halfway through, and I lost it. I dozed off. But surprisingly enough, I was entertained by this. Believe it or not, it is such a weird, wacky concept, but I was enjoying it. So I cannot give a full review. I have to watch it again. And I will update you on an upcoming Never Seen It. I will update you on my pure thoughts about Deadly Friend, but the weirdness and the wackiness was working for me. Maybe it was Christy Swanson. I have no idea. Wes Craven. Who knows? But it was okay. There's a robot in there, just to let you know. That's how wacky that movie is. Okay. You want cheesy Velveeta goodness, you go with Slumber Party Massacre, okay? This is your go-to for cheesy Velveeta goodness. Where do I even start with this damn thing? I mean, this movie, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a great concept. I just wish it was utilized to its full potential a little bit more because you have a great base. The baseline for this movie, the plot line is great. It's fantastic. I was enjoying it. But the entire concept of this killer not even really giving a full out reason of why he's doing what he's doing was a little annoying to me. I'm a question gal. I want answers. I need to know things. Why are you killing people? What is your motivation? None of that is really explained. I assume that he's just a psycho and he just enjoys killing people. But what really got on my nerves was, and by the way, I want to make this known, watching all these horror movies, I don't think I've ever seen so much nudity in my entire life of watching movies of my entire life. There's so much nudity in horror movies. And I understand that's like one of the tropes of a horror movie is the boob shot. I get it. But this was on another level. You had scenes in the shower at the high school. And then the most ludicrous scene, the girls are at the house for the sleepover. I'm kind of going to go on a rant for a second, but just hear me out. The girls are at the sleepover. They're changing in front of an open window. Just, boobs everywhere. 8 boobs for everyone to see. There's 2 guys that they go to school with right outside the window, just, staring like they've never seen boobs before and talking pretty much like me, and they don't see them. They don't see them? They're right there in the window. So little cheesy shit like that, I'm like, oh, come on. It kind of took me out of it a little bit. But I gotta say, for gruesome kills, it's right up there. If you're watching a movie just for the gruesome kills, grab Slumber Party Massacre. I'm happy I have it on Steelbook. I gotta be honest. Not my favorite, but I'll watch it again. It's pure. The purest of cheesy Velveeta that I've ever seen. But it was decent. It was decent. Okay, let's move on to another Jamie Lee Curtis, and that is Prom Night. Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis, and for some reason, Leslie Nielsen is listed on here, but I gotta be honest, he's in about 2 scenes of this movie. And I understand why they were doing what they were doing. They wanted you to think a certain way about who the killer is in this film. It didn't really work because I kind of guessed who the killer was right off. But it's one of those tropey movies where it starts off with the situation that is the catalyst for the rest of the movie. I'm actually surprised that Jamie Lee Curtis did a movie like this. However, we're not done. We'll get to a worser film than this one in just a second. But compared to Halloween, this is nothing. Like, Halloween is top tier, and this is like, wah, wah. But it's one of those horror movies where you're laughing. At least you're being entertained by it. At least I'm laughing and I'm being entertained and I'm enjoying myself. So I guess I have that in my corner. But it's not like a big reveal of who the killer is. It's kind of a little bit of a letdown. So if you want like a baby slasher movie, if you're being introduced to the horror genre for the first time and you need like a baby slasher, go for this one. Go for Prom Night. Because it's honestly not that scary. It really isn't. Okay, so for the bottom 2, I have a bottom 2. A bottom 2. The first of the bunch, which is actually 2 movies in one. And this is one that you've been asking for me to watch for a really long time, and I finally did. Evil Dead. Okay, and I know I'm going to get crap about this as well. But let me tell you something. These movies were so freaking dumb. On another level, I am so shocked that Sam Raimi is the one responsible for this garbage. I'm calling it garbage. To me, it's hot garbage because the situation is so dumb. It's so stupid. Okay, I can understand going to a cabin in the woods and all of a sudden, okay, zombies are occurring out of nowhere. Trees are alive. There's an evil force. I can roll with that. But what I can't roll with, number one, get the F out of there. Why are you hanging around there? And then in the second movie, he's still there. Why did you never leave? Why did you return? Like, the second movie, I did not understand the concept at all of why he was there. You knew what happened in the first one. You were there. You understand what happened, and you chose to stay there in that situation. You are just plain dumb. So because of that, it's at the bottom, and I can't throw this because it's a steelbook, and I will not do that. I'll save it for the other movie that I'm about to show you. So I was not a fan of Evil Dead. I still do have Army of Darkness to watch. Hopefully that one might be better. I'm not optimistic, but we'll see. But the worst of the worst is Terror Train. Terror Train, another Jamie Lee Curtis horror movie extravaganza. This is bad. This is beyond bad. So concept-wise, I knew where they were going, and I wanted it to be good. Unique, it's on a train. However, I felt like that was too small. You're confined to a tube. You couldn't really do much of anything. It was just very jam-packed into one location with a bunch of people, and to me, it did not work. Now, it starts off again with the tropey opening of what occurs, And then the consequences of that act is the plot of the movie. The killer is on the train. He's hacking up a bunch of people. But it felt like it took forever to get there. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I was embarrassed for her for even being in this movie. This is so below what she's capable of doing. And I understand this is way early in her career, but this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing to have on one's resume. So I'm really not, this was after Halloween, because Halloween was her first movie, correct? I'm pretty sure. What were you doing with this? What were you doing? Embarrassing, bad. This isn't even Velveeta cheesy goodness. This is like Velveeta in the fridge gone moldy bad. Like, this is bad, moldy Velveeta. This is not a good movie. I do not recommend. This is why I buy these movies, so you guys don't have to. You don't have to waste your time. So because of this, because you're bad, moldy Velveeta, Terror Train, you're getting tossed across the room. So that is everything that I've been watching for horror movies this past couple of weeks. Let me know down below what you've been watching in the month of October. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.